Yo, so extreme reset, day 5, getting back our focus. This is how you gain back of your focus. Black tea early in the morning, 2 times a day. Relatively cold, relatively hot. That's what you want. No, whoa, whoa. Oh, okay. The thing that I'm gonna talk about is my short journey of getting back my focus because as I said at the beginning of extreme reset, I was at day 0. I just kind of messed up with my brain, with my mind. I was kind of, gotta say, overstimulated than I've ever been. I was on social media, and I was also on school programs getting overhyped. There were a lot of musics. My friends and me, we were roaming around and stuff and all that, and it was a lot of stimulation for me. Needed to unwind and get back to the focus mode of work. So, first of all, good morning. Okay, and second of all, let's talk about the music. Okay, in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is today's date? Today's date is day 7. Okay, fine. I don't even remember the date. Day 7. Okay, date 7 of December. Music. All this date I've not been listening to music. That has a lot of benefit. Okay, because maybe I talked about this somewhere on my live stream before, like how you can conserve your dopamine. I certainly talked about that. The fact that if you don't listen to music, your brain get more fresh. Yeah, I certainly did talk about that. I have everything written out here. Jerking off, porn, music, good sleep, solitude, cold shower, meditation, sunlight, sugar, social media contents, journaling, etc. Those are the things that you want to keep in mind when you are gaining back your focus. Essentially, it's dopamine detox. So I'm gonna talk about dopamine detox briefly, just briefly, okay? Because I think this is the very pinnacle of what your life is. Okay, maybe not the pinnacle of what your life is, but this is the foundation. This is like the bottom of the iceberg that no one sees. It's the motivation. It's the drive to do a certain thing. It's the dopamine level that you have in your body, whether it is optimized or not. I'm gonna tell you how to optimize that or some shit in very, very simple way, nothing scientific or anything like that. Those stuff that I've done for myself to go from day 0 to day 5, yeah, day 5, where I'm like gaining back focus. Yesterday, I was reading a book, okay? I just got a bookmark. Influence by Robert B. Cialdini. It's a psychology book. And what I've learned, okay, not what I've learned, but what I've found is that I'm being able to focus more on my reading. Okay, I'm being able to look at the pages and not get distracted. Because on day 0, I read, right? I tried to read that same book, the same chapter. My mind was wondering. I was thinking about some stuff and I was reading at the same time, but then after I end up reading the paragraph, I realized that, bro, I didn't get shit. I need to read that again. I wasn't present at the moment. I was thinking about school. I was thinking about YouTube. I was not in the moment when I was reading. Even though my thoughts may be good of like work and purpose, yeah, relationship, yeah. But in that moment, I needed to be present in my reading, or else I wouldn't get shit from my reading, right? Last night I read, and I was quite surprised because that night I could read like a lot of shit. So I'm getting the courage to come up to the camera on going live and then talking about gaining back focus because I genuinely think whatever I've practiced in these past few days will help you gain back your focus. Like from day 0, right? If you're a person who like overstimulated right now, from day 0 you're gonna get back to this pace. Now, yeah. It's gonna be like an interactive live chat and all that. Wait, how do you turn on? Okay, okay. Okay. Let's see what I've been doing for the past couple of days, by the way. I wasn't able to do my tasks right at the beginning of December. Wait, let me just hold up because I'm gonna talk about what you can do to gain you back your focus. But first, I need to get a thorough reading of what you should do, especially when you are at this day zero of like no focus at all. Because I think those moments are very important, very crucial. Because once you get the momentum going, it's pretty much easy. Just maintain that. But to get that momentum going, to get that inertia going, to overcome that inertia, you need a lot of momentum for that at first. So first of all, I wasn't even supposed to like finish all my tasks, right? I couldn't even finish all my to-do list. Everything is written here. I couldn't even fucking finish my to-do list. You see all this X mark and some shits. Couldn't finish my to-do list, to be honest. Finished like one third of them, fine, but not all of them. I used to finish all of them, by the way. So I started off journaling, right? The main core habits that I had was my work, which is essentially editing videos for now. And I didn't study a lot, I was just studying at school. It was constant meditation, 10 minutes of constant meditation every single day. I think I'm gonna talk about meditation first of all because I know it's kind of boring. Meditation is kind of boring. You don't get a benefit straight away, especially when you're like starting off. Yeah, like when you are just 1 day in meditation, 2 day in meditation, you don't get that much benefit. But when you are like 1 week of meditation at least, you start seeing the first few results. When you're studying, when you're doing your work, when you're reading books, you're starting to gain back focus. I'm gonna talk a lot about what you should do, what you shouldn't do in this video, but meditation, let's start with that. Okay, 10 minutes. So you watching this video live stream, it's almost like 8 minutes now. This is also a meditative practice because a lot of us think that meditation is like, yeah, sitting down, closing our eyes, being mindful of our breath, or doing some certain breath works with like weird stuff, weird visualization, whatever it is. It doesn't always have to be like that. Meditation is a practice of mindfulness, of like focusing at one thing for like a certain period of time. That is meditation. So meditation right now, you can train yourself to focus. It's meditation is actually like training yourself to focus. So as you're watching this live stream, if that is what you're gonna do for the next 20 to 30 minutes. It's not gonna be 30 minutes, by the way. I think it's more like 20 minutes. If that is what you're gonna do, focus on it. Okay, doesn't matter how long this live stream goes. Just train yourself to focus if you like are gonna watch this anyway, right? So here are a lot of questions on meditation, how you should go about it. I think it's as simple as focusing on one thing. But of course, you always focus on one thing. So you want something special, suppose, which I know you guys want something special. You sit down on your chair on something that is comfortable that you usually stay in. I usually sit down on my bed or sit down on my chair, on this chair. And what I do is I just start meditation. Okay, I just close my eyes, set a timer for 10 minutes on my phone, and then, wear an earpiece, stay in silence, and then meditate, focusing on my breath. And this is where a lot of people get confused. They think meditation is like this act of keeping on focusing on one thing, right? Even though I've told you that meditation is essentially the act of focusing on one thing, it's not actually the focus that you should prioritize. It's the getting back to focus that you should prioritize, because no matter if meditation is the act of focusing on one thing, you're always going to lose your focus. Some people even left this live stream by now. Some people will leave this live stream, they lost their focus. But it's a matter of where you come back, how you come back, whether or not you come back at the first place. And really coming back, we're focusing on our breath, we're being mindful while meditation, but we are losing that focus. Maybe we thought about something at school because school is like an hour later. I'm gonna go to school like an hour from now. So like I'm thinking about school, I'm losing my focus. But then I bring back my focus. But then I bring back my focus. Okay, when I'm losing my focus, I'm thinking about school. Oh yeah, school, teachers, yeah, good grades and all of that. I'm thinking about my friends. But then as soon as I realized that I should be meditating, that I lost my focus. As soon as I realized that I'm thinking about school instead of being mindful, That realization helps me to bring back focus. Okay, this is like the cycle where you're focused on your breath, you lose your focus, you realize you lose your focus, you bring back your focus. So the main part of meditation, the main benefit is to like maintain your focus and bring back your focus. And this too is just like a catalyst, okay? Because it's only when you lose your focus that you get to bring back your focus. Most people go hard on themselves. They tell that they can't do meditation, they suck at meditation, they bash themselves up just because they cannot focus for 10 minutes. But you watching this live stream, it's gotta be special for you because you gotta understand that it's only because you lose your focus that you get an opportunity to bring it back. Because if you didn't lose your focus, you wouldn't even get a chance to bring it back, will you? But of course, it's better to not lose your focus at the first place. But losing your focus is not that bad as you think at the same time. So meditation, and the very similar act to meditation is like staying in silence. Okay, solitude. What I'm going to talk about is solitude. For most of our time in this modern world, we're rushing, we're at work, and then after that, we're going to school and all that, and then after coming back, you know, everything is busy, which you should be. But in this busy world, we need some solitude. And we do get some time for solitude. I wouldn't say like we need to make time for solitude because you are a young man, so you probably get some time to stay in silence for some couple of minutes or hours a day, maybe 30 minutes. You get like a free time throughout your day. That is quite common. As the younger you are, the more that is common, right? Just in general, it's just the way it is. What us young men do, in fact, is we use our motivation, our this drive to do something else useless. We procrastinate. Okay, maybe, okay, not procrastinate, but we do something detrimental to our focus. Because it's like we're getting free time to regain back our focus, but we are using that for our balanced life, right? Everyone is fucking talking about balanced life, right? So what they are doing, they're wasting their time on the internet, they're scrolling through social media, watching short form content, watching contents online and doing nothing. Like even you right now, maybe you are getting some educational values from it, fine, but at least you're doing this and I'm kind of proud of you too. But there are people who, consume like useless contents, meme videos, anime videos. What the fuck is that? Like, well, how does that help you? You would rather, you know, either stay silent at all or consume some positive learnings rather than just consume some bad learnings, because it's better to stay silent, not doing anything, to remain in solitude. Because when you get the chance to stay in solitude, you get this immense urge to grab your phone and just open it up mindlessly. You don't even think about that you're gonna open your phone and watch these Instagrams, TikToks, short form content. You don't think about that, you directly do it just because you've been training yourself to do it for a long time, right? For your whole life, you've been thinking that you're gonna do it for a long time, so it's like a default mode for you. Every time you stay in solitude, you grab your phone. That is what you want to break. So for that, you must embrace solitude, because you're grabbing your phone because you're in the autopilot. How do you fix that? You become more mindful. You become more mindful. But mindfulness in and of itself will not solve your tendency to grab your phone every time you are in solitude, because it will only make you mindful of the urge, but it will not stop you. So again, it's like knowing your potential, knowing your worth, having something better else to do, prioritizing your shits, your solitude, knowing the drawbacks of grabbing phone right now, and understanding the benefits of being in solitude. Because a lot of performing a certain habit is knowing the benefits of it. If you knew the benefits of meditation, you would want to be meditating. Okay, it'll be like you'll get persuaded by yourself. It'll be like if you're trying to quit vaping, you need to understand the drawbacks, because if you don't know that vaping is bad for you, why will you quit at the first place even though you are struggling to quit? That was me for a long time, by the way. That is why I'm telling you guys this. See, vaping in and of itself is a bad habit. I've always tried to quit it, but I never thought it was bad, right? I thought it was good, you know. I'm improving my ejaculation. Yeah, my dick is getting bigger when I'm fapping, but actually, facts, that is not. In terms of fact, that is not right. So I had to understand the drawbacks. It's wasting my time, draining myself, draining my masculine energy, draining my sperm count, and then making me less energetic. It's giving me personal clarity. I don't have good relationship with my life. I don't need to do this right now. I'm getting all those drawbacks. I'm looking at all the disadvantages of fapping, and that helped me to give myself a reason to not do it, because with a reason, everything is possible. Let me share a quote from A Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, but it is not his quote. I don't know who wrote it, but a man with a why can overcome any how. A man with a strong why, a strong reason of why he is doing a certain thing that he is doing, can overcome any how. How do I do this? How do I do that? Doesn't fucking matter. If you have a strong why, the reason that you're doing this at the first place, then you'll figure your way out. You'll figure your how. You need to have a reason that you're doing all of this. Why are you gaining back your focus, in fact? So that you can stay more productive, so that you can, it's not because you want to become better at your work. You're not gaining your focus so that you can study well. You're gaining focus so that you can see your parents smile whenever you are getting good grades after studying well, which is because you gain back your focus. So there's like a level to this. The underlying reason is so that, okay, maybe you want some social connection, you will need some like connection with your family, so you need to see your parents smile, you need to see your parents get happy, proud of you, and all that. You need to feel that desire up. For that you need to get good grades, for that you need to study well, for that you need to gain back your focus and all of that shit. True shits. Okay, this is one of the examples that I'm giving here. So you must embrace solitude, because solitude, even though you are feeling like you are doing nothing at the moment, even though like my room is all closed up, right? The curtains are closed. I usually open it up and all that, but for this period, it's almost like I'm getting into a mini monk mode where I'm all closed off and then full focused on my work. And even when I'm not focused on my work, I'm like meditating and, you know, just embracing the silence instead of listening to music. I'm embracing the solitude. I'm in silence. I'm wearing my, what do you say, earbuds. Embracing the silence. And when you do that, like I did just now, it may look like we're not doing anything, right? But we're doing so much more. Maybe we're doing almost like an equivalent work that you did some few hours ago of study session. In the study session, you're doing a lot of work than you think when you are staying in solitude. First of all, your brain is settling down, and second of all, you are unstimulated by external things. So this constant two benefits of like, yeah, your brain settling down the thoughts, you are getting all these thoughts, you're fighting the thoughts, but eventually it's settling down, even though it's like getting all dusty up. It's like this cup, right? It has a lot of black tea, dry leaves in it, but I'm shaking it. It's all messed up. But if I keep this and keep this in solitude, in silence, the black tea settles down. It is settling down right now. I don't know if you can see it, but your thoughts settle down. And at the same time you avoid any more inputs in your life, any more information, any more good productive tips, even all of that good shits and bad shits too. You avoid all the contents. You avoid people telling you any shits when you're in solitude. You're just here with your own thoughts. You don't want to know anything more, you don't want to know anything less. You're with your own thoughts, embracing the thoughts. That will give you a sharp rise in focus. Maybe not instantly, but maybe like a few days after that. That will give you a huge rise in focus. Even if you're like, this is not to fucking compensate that you stay in solitude and have some background music playing in the background. And just because I say no music doesn't mean that, oh yeah, Kiwi said no music, so I'm not gonna use music which contains lyrics now. I'm gonna only use instrumentals. Not instrumentals either. Just silence. Silence. Okay, but if you think you cannot quit music, which most people can't, But I think it'll be very beneficial if you can quit music. But if you still cannot, right? If you still cannot, then just go with instrumentals rather than the lyrics, because the lyrics reminds you of some shits, some thoughts in your mind. Just because a rapper talks about like fucking a lot of bitches, you remember the fact that you don't have any bitches in your life, and then you get a branch of thoughts. Your mind wonders, oh, why don't I have bitches? Oh, because at fourth grade I did something like this to my teacher. Oh, why do I do that? And all of that. Oh, how is she now? And all of that. You get a bunch of thoughts. You want to settle all of that down, because it's not you increasing your focus level. I think there's no such thing as focus skill. There's a level of focus, maybe a little bit different for one person and the other, genetically or maybe scientifically, or the way they are raised up as children. There's a level of focus which I think you cannot increase it. It's just you this like the water just flows, right? Your focus is at this level, it just flows. It's like a river, it just flows. The only reason that your focus is gonna be lesser is if there's some messed up trash in the river, if there are some useless bullshits on the river blocking the way of the water, then the stream isn't gonna flow, right? The stream of the river isn't gonna flow as it should, because it's always there. Your focus is always there. It's just that you are cluttering this focus. You cannot certainly increase your focus, but you can unleash your potential. You can declutter your mind. You can you know, declutter your focus. That is why we are here. And by the way, we've talked about solitude, meditation, avoiding music so far, and you want to do so much so as to avoid constant stimulations, okay? But of course, it's gonna be hard at first for you, like because I experienced this shit myself, right? Which is why everything I'm saying is pure experience. I'm opening my journal. I'm trying to journal down, but at the same time, I'm having this urge to play some self improvement videos on the background as I do my journaling. You don't want to multitask. As much as possible, you want to focus on only one thing. I think this is also important, because when you're getting productive, when you're thinking that you are getting productive, you want to write your notes and listen to some podcasts. Andrew Huberman, you want to listen to some self-improvement videos at the same time, but you want to focus on only one thing, because when you're doing multitasking, like listening and writing at the same time, your focus sometimes is going to your writing, when you're writing some notes, and then when the speaker that you're listening to, when the podcaster is talking about some real good shit, like the podcaster is talking about women, then your focus is going from this writing journal, writing your notes, down to your the podcast that you're listening. So you're constantly switching your attention, and that is killing your focus. It's draining your energy, draining your willpower to focus. Focus on one thing as much as possible, because it's not whether or not you like the task at hand, it's not whether or not you're liking these notes, writing notes, because nobody fucking loves to write notes. Nobody fucking loves writing. School notes sucks, okay? It doesn't make sense. School notes sucks. You have to write notes from school. It sucks. You don't want to focus on the notes because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't give any relevance in your life. It doesn't align with your purpose. It sucks, I know. But it's not a matter of whether it sucks. Just because it sucks, that doesn't mean that you should, listen to podcasts, something that you are interested in, and write your notes at the same time, just because it is like possible for you to multitask, for you to do so. It's not that whether you like it or not, it's whether you're gonna train your focus or not, because even though you like listening to podcasts and writing at the same time, that is gonna fucking kill your focus. That is killing your focus by multitasking, because multitasking is not only making you giving you less performance ability in the task at hand, but it is also killing your focus that could have been used to like do better work later on. Fucking ate some dry leaves by mistake. Black tea. But it's fine. This is a dopamine detox. When I'm eating drinking tea, it's like settling my mind, it's calming, and then I'm sipping, I'm focused on sipping. It's like a mindful practice. So things like listening to a podcast and writing, bro, you want to focus at one thing at hand. You want to embrace the boredom that comes from like focusing at only one thing, because that is you training yourself to focus. That is not you doing some boring tasks. That is you training your focus, regardless of even if the task is boring or not, because that is the same focus that you're training when you're that is the same focus that you're training when you're like doing some tasks that you really like. That is the same focus that you are gonna use to focus on the thing that really matters to you. So really understand this importance of one task at a time. And by the way, I'm gonna talk about tea, okay? Green tea helps, black tea helps. You know, I don't know if this is like a placebo effect, but every time I'm drinking tea, I feel like I'm a fucking monk. I feel like I'm a type of person who is focused. Because of course tea and green tea detoxifies us. I don't know how, but carbon dioxide goes out of our body. Essentially, it's like caffeine light. I don't know how true is that, but it's like a softcore version of caffeine. So keeps us awake at the same time, but not to the point where you struggle with your sleep. At least not for me. Keeps you awake and keeps you like having this identity of like, yeah, monk mode. And I don't want anyone to tell me otherwise. I don't want anyone to come up and show me studies of like how it doesn't detoxifies our brain and all that, how the monks don't drink tea and all that, because I'm good with the placebo effect. Ignorance is bliss at this point, because if I know that that is in the case, that the monks and the Buddhists, they don't drink tea, then I wouldn't feel like a monk. I wouldn't feel like a monk who is focused on work tasks, who is mindful. Because here I am with placebo, thinking that this is this, therefore I am this. Kind of something like that. Because I'm thinking, no matter if it's true or not, that drinking tea makes me focus. So it makes me focus. Even if the scientific researchers will say it otherwise. Even if the researchers may say that drinking tea kills your focus. I don't care, because I'm drinking tea. I believe that drinking tea will help me. And that is a genuine belief that I have. So it helps me. It helps me to focus. That is the thing. It's like creating an identity for yourself as someone who is able to focus. So the way you do this is to tame your environment. Let me just crack my neck after a very long time here. So just as the way you would tame your environment, arrange your environment to not do bad habits, like I'm gonna talk about maybe in some other videos, of course not in this video, because this is like totally different video. Okay, just like how you would arrange your bad habits basically to eliminate all the triggers that triggers you to do your bad habits, you also want to arrange your environment to the point where it triggers you to do the good habits. So that could be like, yeah, you arranging your table to the point where the book is open and it is triggering you to like do readings, where the book that you're gonna read is open on your table, and so every time you look at it, it's like a trigger for you, and then you're thinking like, oh yeah, I should read books. That is fucking awesome, because when you know you should, but you have like a feeling that you don't want to, an excuse basically, that is when you should do it anyway. Do it anyway, just for 2 minutes, doesn't fucking matter. At the beginning of this December, I couldn't read like, what do you say, 10 plus pages like I used to every single day. I only read like 1 page every day for some like 2 days, and then 2 3 days actually. In the beginning of extreme reset days, I couldn't read like a book. I couldn't read like more than 10 pages like I used to, because again, most of the time I was not focused, and also I was focused on video editings, right? So I was doing that. But then slowly I began to read better. So it doesn't have to be like 10 pages. It just have to be like 2 minutes of reading. It just have to be like one line reading. But when you get interested in that, from that one line, you can continue reading. But you just have to know that all you have to do to get that box of habit tracker checked off, that you read, that you read, all you have to do for that is to just read one line, just one word. You just have to open the book and show up and then put your intention to it. That's all you have to do. And I'm sure you want to gradually increase that, and you will surely have the ability to increase that once you have the mindfulness. So much easier than how you did back then when you didn't have the mindfulness or the presence of mind or the focus just yet. At the beginning, I was mentioning about how you don't get the benefits of mindfulness through meditation right away. But I think to get to a point where you are like at the bare minimum, it's easy. All the work is at the overcoming of the inertia, because all everything after that, all the work after that is fucking easy. So arranging your environment was closing my curtains, locking my door up, and then closing the lights sometimes, and then putting turning the flashlight on, putting like a torchlight in this corner of the wall of my room where I'm like only working, so everything is dark, and the light is only in this area. So all I have to focus is on this area, because I don't want to focus on any area because that is gonna distract me. I'm having the curtains closed up because looking outside is gonna distract me, and that's what worked for me. And you want to see what works for you too. Your room could be different than mine. Your preference could be different than mine, right? So the basic idea is that you want to arrange your environment to the point where you feel it's helping you. I think in a dark room and then lighting only in this area really helps. But in the morning, you don't want a dark room, right? When you're just waking up, you don't want dark room because you need the light to keep yourself active. So that is what I do at night. I'm keeping all of this dark, only light in this area, and blue light filter preferably. That's how I'm able to focus on my work too. And then I'm bringing this extension cord, like a cord where I can charge my phone, and then I can charge my laptop at the same time instead of going back there and then charging my phone, getting up and all that. I can just sit down, turn it on, and then get my phone charged without needing to sit up or anything like that, without anything like walking or anything like, because I just need to put my phone here, charge it up, and then I'm working on my laptop, and then after my battery is charged off my phone, then I take it out, edit some videos, and then I charge my laptop after that. I can do that shit, and it's all here. I don't need to go up or anything like that. I've arranged my environment that is favorable for my advantage, that is favorable for my work advantage. And sometimes you may not want to multitask, but you're gonna find yourself not being able to focus. Maybe you're getting your book open, you're studying for some few seconds, but then you go to Google Chrome trying to search up that weird word, that weird complicated scientific word from your physics class. So you're like searching up that word, the meaning from Google, and then suddenly before you know it, you're on Instagram scrolling down to reels, and you're still having the book open, but you are here scrolling through reels. You are kind of feeling guilty because the book is open, you should be studying, you're procrastinating, but then you're also making an excuse that, oh yeah, just one more reel, just one more reel. You're like getting guilty at the same time, but it's just that you don't have enough willpower to turn off your phone and get back to studying, because you're also at the same time thinking that if you're gonna watch reels, then let me just watch reels now. Let me just study later. Let me just watch reels if I'm gonna watch reels. Because I was doing that, right? I was getting my books open. I was reading books. I'm suddenly searching for a word, and then suddenly I'm thinking about like, oh yeah, what about my Instagram story? Oh shit, did I post my Instagram story? And then before I know it, I'm scrolling through reels. And then my book is still open. I'm feeling guilty because I felt this myself, right? I know that if I turn off my phone right now, even if I have the willpower to turn off my phone and keep it that way, I'm not gonna be focusing on my reading as powerful as I would if I didn't watch the reels. But I watched it anyways, right? So I'm like reluctant to read again because I don't want to face the struggle of not being able to focus. I don't have willpower for that, but I just have enough to turn off my phone, right? That is all in the mind. That is all in the mind. You thinking that you wouldn't be able to focus, it's all in the mind. You can just turn off your phone even though you don't want to, but finally doing it. You can continue reading even though you feel like you will not be able to focus as much just because you watch your phone. But in reality, when you get into the flow of reading, even though you have been watching reels for some few seconds ago, you will find that you are actually able to focus better than you think. That is what happened to me. And then, it doesn't have to be that much. If your focus is less, you don't have to climb an uphill. You don't have to do an uphill battle with this. You don't want to climb uphill. So read a few paragraphs and then just get away with it. Do some meditation at the same time. Boom. And meditation, talking about meditation, bro, even 2 minutes of meditation helps. Whenever you're doing your work, suddenly you find yourself scrolling through something or doing some undesired activity like jerking off or doing some shit like that. If you find yourself doing like that, right away do 2 minutes of meditation. Not even 2 minutes. 2 minutes is too much, right? When you're in the moment of not doing your work, procrastinating, 2 minutes is too much, right? 1 minute of meditation, then when you're doing 1 minute of meditation, it's not about if you are improving your mindfulness at that point, it's about you getting back into focus. Because when you're doing all those undesired activities, jerking off or scrolling through Instagram, your mind is spinning around, boom, 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 like a tornado in your mind. Even this 1 minute, not 10 minutes, even this 1 minute of meditation is gonna calm the tornado down slowly and slowly, slowly, slowly. It's gonna settle down, and by the time it's over, your meditation session is over. Like you setting a timer on your phone for like 59 seconds or 1 minute, you will find that you are more back to focus, and you didn't even need to do meditation for 10 minutes to get back to focus for the moment, because this is not again for like improving your mindfulness. This 1 minute meditation is just so you can switch back to your tasks from that undesired activity of scrolling and jerking off. Okay, that is the most case, so that is what we're talking about here. So today, let's write about what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the light. I'm grateful for the lighting in my table because that helps me to focus, keeps my room dark, and then keeps only this table portion highlighted, which means that I'm only focusing on my table, on the work at hand instead of the other things. I'm grateful for my mother working out. Okay, so essentially yesterday she was, okay, from day before yesterday she got into the habit of working out, right? Maybe from day before yesterday's yesterday. Like what I'm saying, bro. 1, 2, 3, like day 3, day 4, day she began to start working out, essentially she's only doing skipping, skip ropes. My mother is doing skip ropes, and then seeing her work out after a very, very long time, that really almost kind of, not gonna lie, it makes me emotional. Almost like, yeah, this is what we should have been doing. And then I'm almost like so proud of her at the same time that she's doing it. I'm kind of like encouraging her at the same time. Yeah, good shit, go shit. Fucking good, man. I'm grateful to see her working out yesterday because that is the way. That is the way. That is the way we should live. Prioritizing health and, hmm. I'm also grateful for my brother. I'm also grateful for my younger brother. He was the one who, you know, persuaded my mom to work out, and he was with her in this like starting phase, overcoming the inertia of like not working out and then going to work out. He was in the phase with my mother, so it's like thanks to him. I'm also grateful for him for doing that. Hmm. Yeah, proud of them both. Proud of them. Those are the three things that I'm grateful for. And today I can sacrifice time. Today I can sacrifice time to directly work out after school, right? From now on. Because I found that I go to school by by walking and I come back walking, right? So I'm already warmed up to do my workout. So instead of just me coming back home and then doing my normal activities instead of working out, I think it will be more beneficial if I come back home all warmed up by walking and then do workout straight away. Because if I do that, I would save so much time of like warming up later on when I don't do workout straight away. Because I need to warm up after like coming from school and then doing some works. I need to warm up to get my workout, but when I'm coming from school, that is already a warm up, so I can instantly do my workout straight away instead of wasting time warming up and then do all my work later that I would have. So it's like I'm also constantly at the same time updating this daily routine in my mind. First I started with writing it down, but I'm kind of very familiar with my routine, so I can still have it in my mind and still be able to be cool with it. So yeah, directly after coming from school, I'm gonna work out for some couple of minutes and then do my stuff, and then I'm gonna do my homework straight away, which is the sacrifice commitment of yesterday, doing the homework straight away, because that is like you have a fresh mind still. That is the thing I can sacrifice. And by the way, your mind is gonna be influencing your table. So essentially, your table is a reflection of your mind. If your table is dirty, messed up, chances are your mind is messed up. And in order to counter that, it's just the other way around too. When your table is clean, your mind is clean. When you take time to clean your table, which doesn't even take much of a minute, your mind becomes clean. And then, when I'm taking cold shower, that also kind of gives me the dopamine to do my work. And at the same time, I'm not getting too much stimulated. I'm conserving my dopamine, cleaning my table. And also when I'm taking bath, I'm quickly getting the brush or some shit and cleaning the floor as the shower is falling on me. I'm just cleaning the floor, and then it's very good and satisfying to see my bathroom getting cleaned because I'm doing so. Just it doesn't even take 1 minute. Again, it's like it's very quick, and the ROI, the return on investment of your time and effort to that is like huge. You get more productivity, you feel more fresh, you feel more productive, you feel more of a like you're a disciplined person, that it really ingrains in you that you're a disciplined person. These small wins is what you want to target first. See you tomorrow, bro. Improve your life one step at a time, always.